welcome back to my channel. So something that I often come across when I have new moms joining my community is that they don't know where to start. They don't know what to do or what even any of this looks like when they first find out that they're expecting a baby. So first off, if that is you and that is why you're at this video, congratulations on your newly expecting little one. What an exciting time. I know when we found out with my first that we were expecting, it totally caught us off guard.
And it was definitely a surprise.
And I had no idea what to do next. So that is what this video is for. If you are like I was and pregnant and not really knowing what to do next. So the very first thing is you need to find a care provider. If you are hoping to do an out-of-hospital birth, then looking at someone like a midwife is really important. In Canada, which is where I am, midwives are kind of sparse and there's not a lot of them. So you have to apply as soon as you find out in order to get in with midwives. It's not first come, first serve. It's really based on who they align with and who they know believes in midwifery care. So if that's you, you can go and apply for midwives. I'll put the link in my bio for especially Alberta to find a midwife and to apply for a midwife. If you are hoping to go with a doctor or planning on having a hospital birth, you can still go with a midwife and have a hospital birth. But if you're planning on going down the doctor, OBGYN route, then you just need to reach out to your general practitioner or your family doctor or go into a walk-in to get a referral if you're not already under the care of an OBGYN. Once you have solidified your primary care provider, that is when you need to start looking into your other birth team. Do you plan on having a birth photographer? Do you plan on having a doula? Are you wanting to take childbirth education courses? These are all vitally important things that you need to book way ahead of time. Some people try and wait till like third trimester to book their birth photographer or book their doula. And sometimes doulas fill up very, very quickly, and so do birth photographers, especially because they go on call for such long periods of time. So that's something you want to do right next. You should really be going for your midwife or your OB and then doulas. That is definitely your next bet. Then after that, you need to take a deep breath, breathe, like enjoy the fact that you are expecting a new little one and just let that reality sink in and hit you. It's so exciting to welcome in a new little person. And so just giving yourself time after you get the care provider. So on average, people find out that they're pregnant around 6 weeks. So starting something like prenatal yoga or some sort of stretching, some gentle exercise is really important to maintain good flexibility and health throughout your pregnancy. So if you were exercising before you found out you're pregnant, you can continue exercising under the guise of your doctor. So make sure you let your doctor or your midwife know that you are exercising and that you hope to continue. If you weren't exercising before baby came, then it's a really good idea to start. What that can look like totally depends on the risk of your pregnancy. So if you've had miscarriages before, then exercise is definitely something you want to discuss with your care practitioner before you decide to exercise again. But if you're a low risk mom, taking on something like yoga, walking, stretching, some kind of gentle workout that just keeps you flexible and keeps you building strength can be vital to the labor process, which will come at the end of the pregnancy. Another thing that I definitely suggest doing, if you are not pregnant yet and you are hoping to get pregnant in 2024, I always suggest reaching out to a nutritionist and a pelvic physiotherapist before you try. We want to see like 6 months of good nutrition, getting good vitamins and nutrients into your body before a baby is even conceived. And also knowing and supporting your pelvic floor can be really great to stop discomfort from happening in early, late, and mid pregnancies. If, however, you are already pregnant and you're like, oh no, you didn't miss the boat, don't worry. You can still reach out to a women's health dietitian, get in there, talk about your nutrition, talk about a good plan to try and avoid all of the things that could make you high risk by just controlling what you're putting in your body. Another amazing thing that you should be thinking about doing is how you're going to tell everyone. So it's okay to tell people early or tell people late. You really can tell people whenever you want. I personally told my close family and friends like 3 days after we peed on a stick with both of my boys, but didn't announce it to the world until I was like 20 to 25 weeks pregnant. It's all based on what you like to do. As a birth worker, though, who supports people through things like miscarriages, it's really good for you and your partner to at least have one or two other people supporting you through that no from the very beginning, so that if something happens, you have support who knows that they can walk through with you, that you can go and turn to, they're a shoulder to cry on, that isn't just your partner. But of course, that is something that you and your partner need to decide. You do not need to listen to me about that. Very early on in pregnancy, from honestly beginning of first trimester, I always suggest that you start learning visualization, relaxation practices, and good breathing techniques. If you're already on top of these things before labor begins, labor is going to be so much easier. The thing for this, when it comes to labor, is we want to talk about your fears around birth. We want to talk about your fears around motherhood, pregnancy, all these things early so that they don't fester and build. The best way to prepare your mind for birth is to talk about it. Don't let it live in the dark, and start the preparation early so that it comes as second nature. Learning how to do things like a relaxation breath, good breathing for pushing, if you plan on doing non-counted pushing, and learning how to relax every muscle in your body. So practicing meditation or something like that that helps you relax and release tension in your body is something that you can start right now, no matter how early on in your pregnancy you are. Another thing that I definitely suggest doing if you just found out that you're expecting and you're gonna have a 2024 baby is to start looking into the process of birth. Don't worry about things like a baby shower just yet. Let someone else plan that for you. Pay for good childbirth education. Learn about the physiology of birth and how baby moves through the birth canal. Understand what triggers labor, or what kind of things you can expect in labor. What do contractions feel like? I have an entire series that you can click on somewhere up here that will let you know all of these great questions and a little bit of childbirth education. Look in the community around you. See if there's in-person childbirth education classes that you can attend. There's no such thing as attending one too early. Or look online. If you are due in the second half of 2024, I have the Fearless membership, which will be available for pre-sale in January of 2024, that you can totally look at, which is all things childbirth education, physiological birth, relaxation practices, interviews with midwives and nutritionists and pelvic physio. So if that's something that interests you, you can click the link down below to get notified of when that goes on for pre-sale. But definitely look into the process of childbirth. Get to know it, get comfortable with it, and encourage your partner to know as well. If your partner is going to be the only person in the birth space with you, if you're not hiring a doula, then this is definitely something you want your partner to be comfortable with. They need to know what happens during labor. They need to know what happens during birth. They need to know what baby looks like when they're first born, so that they are best prepared to support you through labor. And yes, you can start this as early as 10, 12, 20 weeks pregnant. And of course, if you're later than that, you can also do it now. But I definitely encourage you to start looking at it now. Another thing that I suggest is reading these 3 books. I would for sure recommend you and your birth partner read The Birth Partner by Penny Simkin. It's a phenomenal book, phenomenal reference book that you can actually bring into labor with you. I encourage you to read Ina May's Guide to Childbirth. She just does a phenomenal job, and that's definitely a book that you should read. And then also Made for This. Made for This is an incredible book about how your body was made to give birth. It is a little more spiritual, so if you're not a spiritual person, then maybe that's not the book for you, but if you are a spiritual mama, then definitely go and check that book out. Looking into, reading about, and getting comfortable with the process of childbirth is the best way to feel empowered about going into your birth space. So I'm giving you tons of information. I definitely encourage you to write these things down, rewatch this video as many times as you need, but this is my go-to checklist of things that you should do when you first find out you're pregnant. I've provided a link to my trimester by trimester checklist of things that you should do, and you can click the link in the description to grab that free checklist for you whenever you want. It's in the link. It's a link in the thing, you know. That is a guide that pretty much goes through everything I'm talking about right now, but in a point form checklist for you to go through, for you to feel comfortable with, and for you to feel accomplished by crossing each and every single one of those things off. It's not long. I try and keep it to what I think is absolutely necessary. There's not a lot of filler in it. So definitely go grab that free trimester checklist. The final thing that I would say to help you now that you're pregnant to get prepared to give birth and welcome this baby is to find community. Find other moms around you, whether that's physically around you or whether that's here on my YouTube channel or in my communities or at some other online community. Get to know other moms around you, moms that have kids, moms that are pregnant, women who are trying to get pregnant. Just surround yourself with like-minded women and like-minded parents so that you feel like you have a village around you before baby even comes. By doing that, you're going to get incredible information, incredible support, and also just incredible love from people who are doing the exact same thing as you. If you like my content, please keep checking it out. I've got so much good stuff about childbirth education, especially if maybe you can't afford some of these $200 courses. Go through my YouTube channel, watch the videos. There's some amazing stuff in there that I share constantly. And like and subscribe to this channel so that you can be notified every time I put out a new video, especially my childbirth education videos. That's it for today. I know I flooded you with a ton of information and not a lot of filler, but this is just one of those that I wanted you to go bang, 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 bang. Let's check all these things off. What do I need to do? So if you like this video, like I said, please subscribe to this channel. I'm putting out a video every single week in 2024 just for you so that you can grow and go empowered into your birth experience to welcome your children fearlessly into the world. I'm Alex, the doula and childbirth educator behind Fearless Birthing. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time. Bye.